He's Ollie.
And he's Zander.
And this is the Round Sound Show, episode 003, as said in the title. Apple Podcasts.
Here we come.
Oh, yes. It should be up pretty soon, hopefully. Well, depending on how Apple react and if they've got their fingers out their backsides, they might get it sorted out.
That's really nicely worded.
Sorry, just...
3 podcasts in a row, no swearing.
Oh, I said bottom.
Yeah, that's not swearing.
I said arse.
Start again.
Really?
No, joking.
How many times have we done that, though?
I think it's the longest I've gone without swearing in my whole entire life.
Yeah, well, are we still undecided whether or not we're going to swear?
I don't know, we'll see how it flows.
We don't really need to.
I really want to swear now. Like, desperately.
Don't do it.
Okay, I'll keep it in.
Okay, then. This week we're talking about plastic pollution.
Yeah, the ocean plastic problem, recycling problem that we've got, and whether or not we can tackle it, which for me is a firm no.
It's the more I read, the more I think about it. I've got like a really pessimistic view on this.
The figures that I've come up with today is just insane.
Hit me with some.
It's insane
because you were telling me earlier, and it's shocking.
Obviously, our recycling problem is really bad. And the human consumption of plastic that we use on a daily basis is awful. But I had no idea the fossil fuel industry was creating plastic by fracking gas from the ocean, which creates plastic, which then goes into the ocean.
Okay.
And that equates for 14.5% of the plastic in the ocean right now. 14%.
Jesus Christ.
And that's created... like man-made plastic.
Is that like a byproduct of the gas they're producing?
Yes. So they're fracking gas from the ocean bed
for us
they drill
to burn in our ovens and stuff like that.
To carry on the
spit it out.
I can't think of the word that I'm thinking of, man. It's the literally no idea.
He's gone blank. We'll let you off.
It's a plant that's creating something anyway, in the ocean.
Right, okay.
And they're fracking gas from the seabed, and that creates plastic that goes into the air and then drops into the ocean.
Okay.
And then the other figure was that out of 4 million tonnes of trash that's thrown away every single day worldwide, 12.8% of that is plastic. Every single day.
See, this is what I'm talking about. It seems to me, if we go back to what we were talking about the week before and last week as well, about the fact that we can't comprehend the size of some things, like we can't comprehend the size of space, we can't comprehend the size of the planet, and people stupidly think the planet's flat.
Yeah.
And it's just like we can't comprehend the size of the problem, and we're thinking it's an easy fix when it's definitely not. It's
also comprehending the endlessness of our planet. So people think that the ridiculousness they can give the planet is endless as well.
Yeah.
So we can just do what we want.
When it's not.
It's just going to last forever.
Yeah.
It's never going to last forever.
It's like it's like a vicious circle, isn't it? You think it's big. You think it's so big we can't comprehend how big it is. So we're just thinking it's a problem that's not we haven't got to deal with.
Oh, it's a tomorrow problem.
Yeah.
But it's not. We are facing serious issues right now, here, today, and we are not sustaining the planet we live on. And we're drinking it fucking... Oh. There we go. That's the first one.
There you go. We did it. First one.
We're drinking it dry of all the things that we need from it. And it can only produce so much.
I'm going to have to put an E on the YouTube upload now, you know, that day. Yeah.
But yeah,
it's from what I've read, it's the microplastics from the actual decaying of the plastics that's in the ocean already. Now, there's how many tons in the ocean already?
12.8 tons.
Million.
Every day.
12.8 million tonnes.
So that equates to... I've got my figures here.
51 trillion tonnes already.
51 trillion tonnes every year in the ocean. Every year. And that plastic...
It's just crazy, isn't it?
One single plastic bag takes 400 to 1,000 years to decompose. Just one plastic bag.
So 10 generations of a human life.
If we last that long.
If we're lucky.
It's madness.
just
this
for
isn't
one plastic
addressed
bag.
in the slightest as the biggest problem that we're facing.
So what I understand, it's the major problem is the microplastics. Is when that decays over the thousands of years it takes for plastic to decay in the first place. The little tiny molecules of plastic are just seeping down into the food chain. The fish are eating them.
It's lying dormant, basically.
And then it's getting into their body, and then we're consuming the fish, and it's just one massive vicious circle. All those carcinogens from the plastics are in our food, basically.
The plastic we use for plastic bottles, plastic bags, everything that we consume as a plastic, as a human, is made from toxins. So if it goes to landfill, it sinks into the earth and it poisons the earth because it's made out of toxins, gas, microorganisms that are toxic to our everyday life. And you think you've got a plastic bottle of Coca-Cola, you trust that as something you can drink out of every day.
You trust the brand, you see.
But you can't drink out of it.
Trust the brands.
It's horrible to think, when I've been researching all of these numbers, that all of these things we trust in day to day it's very deceptive. You trust in the brand, like you say. You see that logo, you think, it's going to be okay. But it's not.
Even bottled water. We think bottled water being one of the most pure things you can drink, the most perfect thing you could possibly put in your body. Don't drink Coke, drink water. Well, there's traces of plastic even in bottled water. Now they reckon it's
not from the bottle.
They reckon it's not from the actual bottle itself. The plastic traces are coming from, when you twist the cap and it breaks the seal. The actual microscopic bits of plastic from that breaking of the seal is going into the water.
And how many different plastics is that lid made of?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what kind of plastic it is. I know what plastic we use at work, but
when you think of the water as well that's going into the bottle, the spring is probably
contaminated in some sort. I know it's clean water, and it's it's going to be free of plastic. I think the water they're putting in to a certain degree, but that's where the plastic comes from. That they're tracing is from the actual breaking of the bottle cap.
No way.
And that's how it gets in there. And then you're drinking it, and those microscopic bits of plastic are in your body straight away.
Well, they're saying that it was around about 4.5 million microscopic parts of plastic are already lying dormant in the ocean now. And those are just the small parts. We're not taking into account the bottles, the beer rings, the bags.
Yeah, we're trying to clean
those are
the
things
problem
that you
we
can't
can see, and you can't see the stuff, and it's just how you're supposed to clean up if you can't see it.
Stop it from source.
Yeah, you've got to stop it. That's the only way I think you're going to get the situation. I mean, like you said, you've got 12 million tonnes a day extra plastic going into the ocean. A day going into the ocean. There's no way, no matter what you design, no matter what you come up with, no matter how you're going to get rid of that plastic, you could have every person on the planet
pulling it out,
picking it off the shoreline, and you still wouldn't get of each day's worth of plastic.
The consumption needs to slow down before you can get rid of the problem already.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's stuff already there. There's only so much you can do to get rid of it before it's added to. Every second, every minute, every day, it's being added to. So
kudos to McDonald's. They've recently switched to paper straws.
Yeah, paper straws with a plastic lid and a plastic cup. Good one.
But they're making small steps, I suppose.
Well, it's not good enough, really, is it?
Have you seen that video of the plastic straw being pulled out of the sea turtle's nose?
Oh, mate, yeah, I have, and it was horrible.
And it was there 5-10 minutes trying to get this and pulled the plastic out of his nose.
Have you seen the beer ring where the shell of the turtle is actually moved inwards?
Squashed in, grown around it, more or less.
And you see these images and we're still doing these things without any contempt for anyone else.
I think the message has got to be, if anything comes from this podcast, if anybody listens to it, is that we've got to put a message out there that you've got to recycle your plastic.
Of course you have, yeah.
We have got to start as individuals of taking responsibility.
Well, it's not just recycling the plastic, it's recycling it responsibly, because
consciously.
Those rings, you can't just chuck that in the recycling.
No, you got to break those rings
as
up.
Is.
Yeah, we're drinking beer. They all come with plastic rings to hold them together. It's just a convenience for us. Do they have to do that? No. But even if they do it for the next 10 years, you've still got to break those rings up.
Yeah, I snip them and I go, save the turtles, as I'm snipping them.
The turtles.
Because it may not make a difference, but if it does, it makes me feel good. nobody else is going to think about that. But the more people that do, it spreads, doesn't it? It's a positive message. There's a beer company out there now, and they're using biodegradable rings, and the rings break down and turn into food for fish when they hit the ocean. It's
a positive message, but realistically, how many people are going to do it?
Yeah.
Even if they hear that positive message and they listen to the message and they go, yeah, you're right,
but will they do it?
I'm not going to do it.
No. And it's not to say that people are selfish, but you can't change the way people think.
I think people are. I think people are just lazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm guilty of it. I don't say I'm not preaching. I'm just saying that I'm guilty of all sorts of things. But laziness is definitely one of them as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But, you know, from now, for me in my current position, we recycle. I know you do as well. I recycle everything, and we have to split it green, blue, black bins. And we recycle, you know, we put the grass in the green bin, we put the general waste in the black bin. It's all, we do everything, and that's all you can do, I think.
Of course you can. Like, it even goes as far as, like, if you have a McDonald's on Deliveroo, where can that brown paper bag go? Where can the straw go? Where can the cup go? They all go into individual things, and you're in the kitchen going, oh, I just can't be bothered to walk. But it's an extra 5 yards to go outside and recycle.
Yeah.
But it's a multifaceted thing. They all go into different parts of the recycling, don't they?
Yeah, and that is too much for some people.
Of course,
even that is too much.
They're just going, oh, I can't be bothered. I'll just chuck it in the bin.
I mean, what we
this
do,
won't make a difference.
We put it on the side in the kitchen and just leave it there and pile up for about a day and a half, and then Lisa goes, take all this into the recycling.
Alex, this is all your rubbish. Chuck it away.
It's all your cans, Al, from the weekend. You're like, okay, I'll go and put them in the recycling. But it's an effort. But you've got to think about why you're doing it.
Yeah.
And it is making that small difference, but everybody's got to do it.
It really does pain me, though, that I'm doing it, but I know deep down that there's so many people that aren't and probably never will do.
Yeah.
And we won't make a difference until everyone moves in the same direction.
But you can't not do it.
No, of course not.
Having the thought that somebody out there is not doing it, because there's always going to be one person that's not going to do it.
If that's your belief system, then stick to it, I say. Do you know what I mean?
But you're not going to get very far in life if we just think, oh, I'm not doing that because someone else isn't doing it.
Yeah, I guess. But the plastic problem in the ocean is just so bad. The figures that I've stumbled across over the last 2 days, it's harrowing to think that ecosystem within the ocean is so integral to the way the Earth works as a whole. It like moves in a circle, do you know what I mean? And we're ruining...
Cycle of life.
Exactly.
Everything's a fine balance.
Yeah, of course. And if we're ruining that at the very core of its existence, and ruining fish, and ruining plants, and the water that we eventually will drink, you know, it's never going to get better.
And you've got obviously you've got the water cycle. Obviously, we've been learning with Jake the water cycle in geography, and it goes up and it comes down. It's constantly, the water is constantly recycling around the planets, and once I fear personally, once that plastic is in, well, I'm not entirely sure you're going to get that out now.
No,
I'm pretty, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, recycle, but I'm pretty sure that it's probably gone too far for us to do anything about it, to get rid of it totally in the foreseeable future. So I think all you can do from a personal point of view is prevent. Well,
that Ocean 4 company that I found on the internet, they sell those bracelets, don't they? Each bracelet sold takes a pound of trash out of the ocean, but you need more than one of those companies. If you have, say, 20 of those companies, you can tackle things.
There's not many. You've got
on
the
a big scale. There's probably only 2 or 3 out there. They have got rid of 4 million pounds of trash from the ocean in 2 years.
Right.
And if there's 12.8 million pounds going in, well, tons going in per year, you need 40, 50, 60, 70 of those companies doing it all at the same time. If you've only got one, you're never going to tackle the problem, are you?
No. I know you've got... I was watching Joe Rogan. He had Boyan... I think it was Boyan Slat. I think he's a Dutch bloke. And he's one of the biggest companies that are starting it up. But it's a non-profit company.
Yeah.
They rely on outside funding, people that are making donations to build this, effectively, this 2 kilometre wide boat that
like
goes
a
up.
catamaran.
Like a catamaran style boat with big wings on it, if you like, with nets and stuff. That goes and tries to gather up, and they reckon they can get rid of 90%.
But again, that comes down to the people that are recycling. The people that probably will donate. The people that aren't recycling aren't going to see it, are they?
No. If you are one of those people that are recycling, go to theoceancleanup.com. Just go and read up about it a little bit.
Tag those websites in the
I'll
description.
put it in the description down below.
And make sure we can make a difference, even if it's a slight difference, you know.
Definitely.
It's such a big thing, though. Like,
but I mean, we talk about. I don't think we've told them about the scale. And there's 5 garbage patches, islands in the world. One of them is in the South Pacific between San Francisco and Hawaii, and it is the size of Texas.
Mate, like,
and it's 3 feet deep, so you could basically say it's the size of 3
island. That's
Texas.
land.
It's basically you can walk on it.
Oh,
plastic.
Texas is massive.
Texas is the biggest. It's the biggest state, isn't it?
Yes.
Apart from Alaska, maybe.
Maybe California.
Not sure.
California's pretty big.
Is it?
Yeah.
But what we mean by a plastic island is that because of the ocean's currents, the plastic sort of gathers in one place on the ocean.
It's got no choice but to move that way.
Yeah, it's gone that way, and eventually it's hit like a bottleneck, and it's sort of just gathered in one place, and it's gathered into the size of Texas. And they reckon a lot of it's come because of the bad infrastructure in the Middle East and China and stuff. That's a lot of the plastic comes from there, but a lot of it is worldwide plastic that's just been gathered into this island of shit. I'm going to swear.
It's just garnering your problems in one place.
Yeah.
Surely that's the one thing that speaks to all these people and goes, look.
I mean,
that's just one location.
Take ambulance again? What is going on?
I think that was the police, mate.
Reckon?
Yeah.
But it would take. There's got to get some programs out there, some more. It's got to get some more exposure, hasn't it, before people start realising the scale of the problem. But can you imagine? I mean, the size of Texas.
That's massive.
3 feet deep. So it's effectively, if you say Texas is a foot worth of topsoil, it's 3 Texases on top of each other.
You need your wellies to go through the whole thing.
You could walk across it and go, oh look, sieve or bottle of.
Your 2-week holiday could be spent on that island.
Yeah. You wouldn't be able to walk across it in 2 weeks.
Of course you wouldn't.
You can't walk across Texas in 2 weeks.
There's so many plastic bottles here. It's ridiculous.
But that is one island, and there is 5 similar.
There's one called Garbage Island as well, isn't there?
Yeah, similar islands. Not that is the biggest one in the South Pacific, but I just comprehend that much plastic and that much rubbish in one place.
We're consuming to a point where we can't stop the consumption, and it's only getting greater with more people on the planet.
Yeah.
But we can't slow it down, and we're not finding solutions to get rid of it. It's like plastic. It's almost like plastic is born, but it never dies. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the perfect substance, the perfect material for humans to use and all sorts of things, but we've designed the devil.
Going to be the downfall of everything, isn't it? You know,
it's full of all sorts of nasty chemicals. The process. I mean, I've worked in an industry for the last 14 years that deals solely with plastic, and those little pebbles, the raw plastic that gets melted down and jetted into those injection moulding machines that push the melted plastic into a mould, into a mould and create a shape. But those little beads are only tiny. I don't know, 5 millimeters each.
But how much plastic is that made up of? Those tiny little beads.
Well, that's the raw plastic. The plastic beads that come in massive 3/4 ton bags.
What?
Of little beads of plastic, and we get through 100 pallets a week, maybe.
What?
I'd say.
Wow.
It's hundreds of tons.
Insane. And how much do we use of that? Like, a lot of it's just going to be wastage, isn't it?
Well, you know, I've worked there for a long time, and I know it does decay. When you leave the box outside, they go brittle and they break and stuff. But even that's just weathering. It doesn't actually decay. So those boxes, I don't know, you talk about 14 years worth of millions and millions of boxes that we produced. They're going to be out there forever.
Yeah.
More or less. For humans' lifetime, I reckon.
400 to 1,000 years for it to decay.
But that plastic's always going to be there somewhere.
Yeah, of course it is.
It's like...
If it breaks down to 1,000 minuscule little pieces, it's still going to be there. And it's still going to have a massive effect. All those little pieces will have an effect individually. Not as a whole composite makeup. All of those tiny little pieces, one by one, will make a massive effect, won't it?
In our defence, we do recycle plastic.
Well, I try my best anyway, but...
The company itself does recycle plastic and remake boxes from recycled plastic.
After how much you consume.
Yeah. But it's, you know, is it the unsolvable problem? I'm not sure.
I think it is personally, but it's elongating the inevitable, isn't it? It's like death. Everyone's going to die, but you're living through that life, enjoying it, but the inevitable is going to happen to everybody.
Yep.
But we need to find a way to slow this down.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it can stop, but we need to slow it down. Once we can slow it down, even if you add 50 to 100 years onto the planet, surely that's a good thing.
Definitely. Did you watch that Boy and Slap Joe Rogan podcast?
No.
I'm not a massive fan of him, that chap. He was 16 when he thought of the idea. Like a young genius, if you like, and he's done it from a young age. He's taken it all the way to 23. 23 years old now. Yeah. And he's doing it, but he's one of these minds that was quite within himself, and you could tell when he's talking, and Joe Rogan was trying to get information out of him. He said that I've got other ideas of how to help the earth and how to clean it up, and there's stuff like oil spills and other water pollution and other stuff that we are destroying the earth with. But and Joe Rogan asked him what were these ideas, and he went, they're my ideas.
He wants to monetize, and that's why
he's trying to monetize it, because this project that he's doing isn't monetized.
If that was Elon Musk, he'd be like this and this.
People like that, there's no point in holding on to an idea for the next 10 years.
No.
Because that's 10 years of progress and 10 years of help to the planet. You're just denying.
And it takes one person to change it.
Yeah, if you're one of those people that are bright enough to think about this, and have got like Elon Musk is a genius.
Yeah.
And he's got it in him, and he's got the ideas that some people wouldn't even think about. Most people won't even think about it. But why keep those ideas to yourself? If you're one of those people, you've got to share those ideas.
Of course you have.
And help humanity. That's your purpose, maybe, for life.
Well, what's the point in being here otherwise if you've got those ideas? And
he was really like, it's in a notebook by the side of my bed. And he was like, well, what other ideas? Like oil. And he goes, you can ask me as many times as you like, I'm not going to tell you. I'm like, that's not really the way forward.
Dickhead.
Yeah.
So that's Joe Rogan as well. Like,
for all the good he's doing, I was disappointed.
Yeah, big time. Yeah. Because he's not doing good. Because it's quite clear now that anything he does in the future is going to be to monetize himself and prove how he's obviously got this narcissistic need to be understood as this genius. Yeah. It's not about the ideas that he's got that's going to change other people. It's
not the world's my
look
idea.
At me.
Yeah.
How good am I?
But a lot of the talk was about how he's going to monetize the plastic when they do actually get to a point where they're cleaning up the garbage patches, the garbage islands, how they're going to reuse that plastic. And
well, yeah, that's the problem, because it just goes back out there again, doesn't it?
Yeah, because you can't just put it in a landfill site, because eventually it's going to get back into the system.
Of course it is. You're just creating another problem.
You've got to take that plastic and recycle it, turn it into something else, find a chemical experiment or a reaction that can turn it into something else totally, or use it for something else that can be reused and reused.
You know what we should do? Create it into books that can teach children
how not to use plastic.
Yeah, how not to use plastic. Musical instruments for schools.
Yeah.
Lunch boxes.
Do you know what his idea was?
Those have just come off the top of my head.
His idea was to make sunglasses.
Oh yeah, great.
$100 sunglasses.
That's Florida sorted.
Yeah.
Idiot. Think about how you could affect change on the base level. Children need books, pens, musical instruments, chairs. You could build schools with the plastic that we have.
Well, so I don't understand why they don't do that, but
I am
know a lot
so
of stuff.
Smart. That idea's just come off my head.
You're so clever.
Straight away.
You're a genius, Ollie. Weren't we thinking about these things?
Get me on Joe Rogan, I'll fucking change the world, mate.
You swore.
Sorry. Well, this is the swearing episode. Never again. We'll just cut it after this.
Nah. No. I'm quite happy.
We could change the world with the plastic you've got lying dormant.
Well, I think we're changing the world in our own little way by just talking about it, getting the conversation out there. Even if this reaches 5 people, we are making a difference.
Of course.
Every little helps.
And those 5 people will tell another 5 people, and it spreads, doesn't it?
Yep, spreads like wildfire.
Hell yeah. So, yeah.
So it's interesting, and it's a subject that we wanted to talk about. It's another subject that's close to our hearts, which is nature and stuff like that. I think we've been brought up like that, haven't we? We've always watched National Geographic. I remember having the videotapes of the National Geographic watching the whales over and over again. Remember those?
Yes, I do, mate.
Videos and videos of that.
Loved it. But it's just about just taking care of what's around you, because essentially we live here. This is our home, not the home that you've got when you go back home. This is. If you don't take care of everything around you, then what have we got left?
We're all too fixated on material possessions. This is my house, I'm safe in my house, but you're not.
No.
The water that's being polluted by your plastic is coming into your house. The gas that's creating plastic and poisoning the planet is coming from that.
Your missus' house.
That problem. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, we're just so fickle, mate. Everything we can see is what we believe. We don't think past the core of the problem.
What's evident from the 3 podcasts we've done so far is that all of these problems are interconnected.
Yeah.
Everything always comes in full circle.
It does.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it's like, you've got to solve this problem to get to that problem, but if you don't, this problem affects that problem.
You can't solve them all on your own, though. You need to be a team, don't you? You need one common goal. And once that common goal is achieved, the next one is achieved. So
maybe we start thinking about
rallying people.
Yeah, we'll either rally people, talk about it some more, create a niche where we talk about these subjects once a month, maybe.
Yeah. Do a special. Do
a bonus episode or something like that. And really try and get it out there. Yeah. Get the message out there.
We do a special Earth Day every week. One Earth Day. That's it.
Earth Day podcast special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come and join us, fellow human beings.
Yep.
And then you will learn something, and we will do it together.
We've got some news, haven't you?
Me?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
About a possible 3rd member of the team. Tell everybody about it.
No, I feel like I need to just introduce him on camera so everyone can see how ugly he is. He's got really big ears, and he's going to be our little info source, isn't he?
Yeah, I think we need a 3rd person to sort of pull up information. If we're going to make these, because we're getting half an hour now, and we've run out of information. Yeah. We're quite knowledgeable, but we're coming to the point where we've spent. If we had a 3rd person, like you said earlier, that can pull up information, that just makes his podcasts go on and on.
Turns a 30-minute boring conversation into a 2-hour boring conversation.
It's not boring, dude.
Well, it's not boring to me.
Might be boring to everybody else.
Well, yeah. You never know, do you? But yeah, we've got a new addition to the team hopefully next week, and I feel like it's really going to turn us on a corner.
We're not paying you, Sam.
Monetised.
If you watch this, you're not getting paid, mate.
We're going to get monetised.
I'll buy the beer, but I'm not paying you.
He won't buy the beer. He will not buy the beer.
Next week I will.
It's about time as well. But yeah, it's very exciting. We're moving in the right direction, and there's loads of things to come, isn't there?
It's fun. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm having a great time with you.
Yeah.
Just about.
Well,
not really, though.
Apart from trying to get the background up, that was funny earlier, but that's a story for another time, maybe.
Yeah, Lewis Capaldi, that's his fault, because I was singing his song. Just couldn't get it out of my head, mate. Couldn't focus on the task at hand.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So, that's it for another week.
That's another reason we need Sam Key.
Yeah, 3rd camera.
Check the cameras out.
Yeah, just another person that's, annoying, just like us.
Remind me next week on the next week's podcast to, at 25 minutes, stop and start it again.
Charge the batteries.
Batteries is fine.
Get some more memory.
Stop and start recording, and then it'll do it.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll get there, guys. Just bear with us. It's been another episode of the Round Sound podcast, so thank you for tuning in.
Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Save the oceans.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.